they'll lynch you. But he did, and he laughs at
Hi everybody, Western the West End Network. Hope you are all safe and well. Hope you woke up with an extra bounce in your step after that performance last night. What the hell happened? But if you did listen to my match day morning, what did I say? I said sometimes we do turn up once or twice a season for no reason whatsoever. We turned up. We did have to go 2-0 get down to turn up, but we did turn up, and what a fantastic performance. For me, if we play anywhere near like that against the teams we still have to play this season, no concerns at all about relegation. That point I think is a massive point. Could be a decisive point. If you listen to Marzi after the game with Anton, he was saying that could be, that could be decisive, that point, and I really agree. I mean, Moisey speaks about strength, character, discipline, and I think all of those were expressed yesterday. And you're welcome, Pep. You're welcome. That puts us now on, what are we on now? 31 points, 4 points. Yeah, 4 points clear of 18th spot, but with that goal difference, so it's really 5 points really with everyone apart from Leicester. With Southampton got a minus 29 goal difference, Forest have got minus 32 goal difference, and Everton have got a minus 22 goal difference, and they're just outside. So that's another point. So that's really 5 points in essence. But what I wanted to do today was talk about one person and one person only. Where is that person? There he is. One person and one person only, and that is this gentleman. When it works, Lucas Paqueta. I want to talk about Lucas Paqueta. He was everywhere yesterday. He was everywhere. I thought he was fantastic, Lucas. I've got his touch map here. That's his touch map for the game. Everywhere, and obviously we're going left to right attacking. He was everywhere. In fact, he was more needed around that sort of the left-hand side, lots of doubling up with Aaron Cresswell, really, on that left, who again I thought had a fantastic game as well. I think both fullbacks played really well, to be fair, but Lucas I thought was exceptional yesterday. I mean, you look at his stats, and his stats were just all. It says here that he was all over the place, and he was all over the place. Looking at his stats, 41 touches in the game. We played 87 minutes. Obviously, he got replaced by Flynn with a few minutes left. I think the fan base wants to see a three of Flynn, Rice, and Paqueta. I think you'd see something special. They're all good ball players, but even Tommy Soucek yesterday put a shift in. Everyone put a shift in, really. From Fabianski all the way up to Antonio. Beast mode was activated yesterday. What the hell happened there? That's what we've been crying out for the best part of a whole season with Antonio. Give us that Antonio. Gabriel, he didn't want to know. Obviously, he didn't have William Saliba. Rob Holding didn't want to know. And that was I just thought he was. That was probably the best performance I'd seen Antonio play all season, and we've got 9 games left of the season, which just shows you. But yeah, go back to Paqueta, 41 touches in the game, passes, 34 passes. He only had a 68% pass accuracy, but you could see. But the thing about Paqueta is, if you look at his stats, he goes, he's a bit wasteful, but those were progressive passes. I'd say 99 out of 100 of those passes, 99% of those passes were forward-looking passes. They weren't keeping the ball like I don't know, Soucek would and just playing it safe. They were trying to get somewhere and trying to put players in, whether particularly second half, trying to put Bowen in, Antonio in. Obviously, he got fouled, quite flamboyantly got fouled for the penalty. But I suppose he had one long ball accuracy pass. There we go. In terms of 100% successful dribbles, 100% aerial duels won, 50% ground duels. He lost possession quite a bit, and I know that does frustrate people. There was one pass in the second half where I think he tried to pass it across to Aaron Cresswell, and it got cut out, and they were on the attack, and you could see he was like, "Shit, better get back," just to get involved. But lucky it didn't come to anything. But I thought he was what we were missing for that Ghent game particularly, and also the Fulham game as well. The Fulham game, we were bereft of any midfield creativity. With Souček and Rice, both sort of playing quite defensive roles against Fulham. We didn't have any impetus going forward. I think Ghent. I think when Paqueta came on with 20 minutes to go, he ended up being our most creative player throughout the whole game. He only played 20 fucking minutes. Yesterday was different, was the same as well from beginning. What I love about him is you can't pigeonhole him into a position, because towards the end of the game, he was playing, well, definitely the sort of second half, he was definitely playing more up front, more as almost like a number 10 with Antonio. But then he was 5 minutes later doing the donkey work and sort of getting involved, playing as a CDM role. He was literally all over the place. He has a real. I was watching him. I was watching him yesterday, and he's effortless. His passing, and I think with this season under his belt, I think next season you're going to see one hell of a player. And I think also with potentially a different manager in the dugout, you'll see a different type of player as well. He got a standing ovation when he came off, same as Antonio. And fair play to Antonio, he deserved it as well. He ran his socks off. But I just thought Paqueta had that. He was because he finds these little pockets. The likes of Partey didn't know what to do with him. The likes of Odegaard didn't know whether to track him or try and attack himself. So much so they brought on Jorginho to try and sort of control that midfield, because we were dominating it in the second half, particularly when we equalised. You could tell Arteta was a little bit worried to bring off, more of an attacking threat, to bring on someone like Jorginho just to try and tie the defence up. It took until like the 88th minute for them to bring Eddie Nketiah on. When they obviously trying to do a smash and grab last minute job. That's how worried they were, and the flip side is people are going to say, where the hell was that performance all season? And I'm one of them people. Where the hell was that team this season? Why is it taking us to get to mid-April before we've seen some fight? And I think everyone was in the same boat, similar to the Newcastle game. We came out the traps well, same as the Newcastle game. Then they get a couple of quick goals. And we're thinking, it's not going to happen again, is it? It can't happen again. Particularly went 2-1 up as well. And then we had this sort of momentum going into and then there was the penalty. Their penalty in the second half, and you're thinking, oh, here we go again. And that was a turning point. I thought that once they missed that penalty, we just capitalised. And that's very rare for us to capitalise. And then to go on and to be honest, we could have easily won the game. It's quite, if people are planning out how many points we were going to get this from now to the end of the season, this game yesterday you would not have put down for anything really. Although we did say a draw. For once. One of my predictions was actually right this season for the first time ever. And I think we were all fearing the worst. I was bigging up the freak result right up until the team was announced, and then I just turned around to the guys behind me and went, "Nah, it's all right, guys. It's going to be a bloodbath today." Because you saw Tilo Kira playing centre back, you heard about Ogbonna, you heard about Aged, both being injured, getting knocks from the Ghent game. You saw Aaron Cresswell left back, and you thought Aaron Cresswell against Saka. But I tell you what, Cress turned back the years. I thought he was exceptional. I thought both fullbacks were. I thought Soufal was fantastic and kept Martinelli at bay. I didn't even realise Saka was playing until he missed the penalty. In all honesty, it was a real from. Maybe the only slight would have been particularly second half, there was times where I thought Ben Rama maybe went a bit quiet, and then you thought, well, why don't you bring on Cornet and play him on the left? And again, we were very slow of our, not slow of our substitutions, but substitutions weren't. You thought again, if we'd put the substitutions on the right time, it could have changed just given us that extra boost to get for the winner. But look, beggars can't be choosers. We're in a hell of a bind at the moment. But yeah, I thought Paqueta was exceptional, and I love the fact that he puts a boot in. I love the fact he's not shy for a tackle. I love the fact he's not scared to try things. Because I think that's our problem this season. We've looked scared. We've looked skilled, not necessarily at the beginning of the season, but when it was not looking good, we were scared to try things. We were scared to move the ball forward. We were scared to be progressive with our passing. Yes, Paqueta had 68% pass completion rate or something like that, but they were all forward momentum passes. They were all trying to get things, that killer ball through. And a couple of times it did get through. And in another game, 3 or 4 more of those passes may have come through. I think we've still got the rest of this season, but I'm excited for Paqueta next season. I think you'll see a hell of a player. I think maybe you'll see a fit Skamaka with a proper knee. Obviously, he had successful knee surgery. He took a picture out of surgery. So, I think this to me was a real frustration because this team today, well, last night rather, could really do something, and these are the league champions. These guys haven't lost for 3 months, and we were Antonio hit the post. Although I think he was offside anyway, but still, we were that far away from doing them. And also, being the first, I think this is the first London derby this season from Arsenal where they haven't won the game. I think they've won all their other London derbies apart from yesterday. That's a hell of achievement. And as I said, but it means nothing now if we don't get something against Bournemouth. And it means nothing, in my opinion, unless we qualify for the semi-finals, because it's just going to build momentum. I can see us having a great last 6 weeks of the season, which will piss off loads of people because we should have had a great season. But I can see us having a really good last 6 games. Interesting, obviously, the likes of, I imagine you'll see Ogbonna back and Aged back in the side for Ghent, Emerson. He'll be back in the side. Probably Soufal will play. You can probably pick the side, to be honest. But as long as we've got Paqueta, I tell you what, there's nobody better than Lucas Paqueta. He's our Brazilian Magnifico, don't you know? But anyway, I just wanted to. I'm in love with Paqueta today. Well, last night I woke up and I'm still in love with him. That's why I thought I'd do a video. But anyway, as I said, if you're new around here, give it a like, give it a comment, give it a share, give it a subscribe. Hammer's headlines coming up later. A couple of transfer rumours and also a bit of a scouting report about Ghent. Obviously, they played yesterday as well, drew 1-1 I'll talk about the team they played and the players that played. I wouldn't say necessarily a weakened side at all, but 2 or 3 of the team that we played were on the bench but ended up coming on anyway. But yeah, take care, stay safe, stay warm, stay humble, keep the faith, my friends. Come on, you irons, and I'll see you guys very, very soon. Ta-ta, my friends. Much love.